Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Karen, Lavenderclothesline, here on YouTube, also on eBay and Instagram. Today I want to make a video answering a few of your questions that I keep getting over and over again, and I'm also going to do probably my 20 best sales over the course of me selling on eBay. Now some of these sales are the best because of what I found. Some are naturally the profit that the things brought, but most of all, it's my gaining knowledge of the items and really interesting things I found. Some things, or I should say most things, I didn't even know what they were when I found them, but I love that whole adventure. I'm a treasure hunter, as many of you know, and half of the excitement is finding things that you know are interesting, but you know nothing about, but you buy them anyway, because most times there's a low buy-in price and a great sell-through rate. So today I'm going to give you a video of my top, let's call it my top 15 things, and I'll hold it to 15 if I can, of things that I've sold over the past 7 years. Really interesting things, I think. So first off, I want to talk a little bit about a subject that I covered recently. I talked about taking artwork, prints, originals out of their frames and selling them that way. And while frames can bring a good price and can sometimes be even more valuable than the artwork itself, which I did talk about that on my prior video, today I want to talk about how I ship those prints, because that was the majority of the interest for picking up artwork. So as I've described before, and I'll show you again today, when I take a print out of its frame and glass, it is correct that one of my prior 1 or 2 commenters said, don't let your bare hands touch the print. And that's absolutely correct. That was my error, that I showed myself touching the face of the print. Because your hands have oils, you really don't want to touch artwork. You want to either put on gloves, a clean pair of cotton gloves, or you want to handle artwork like photos by the edges. So I just want to put that disclaimer that whoever, of you guys that left that comment, absolutely right, and don't take offense. Good reminder for me and for all of us. But today I'm going to show you what products I use to ship my artwork. So grab yourself a cup of tea, as I always say, and let's get started. So the first item that I'm going to show is a print that I showed on my last video. I found this at the Williams Grove flea market in a $1 sale, and it is this heron here. So he came in glass with a frame, and I took him out of the glass, and now he just looks like this. And I believe this is made from either chalk or pastels. This is hand drawn, so it's an original. And the way that I would ship this type of print is shipped flat. I don't roll my prints. At least I think I only, right now in my inventory, have 1 print rolled because it's too large to ship flat. And I'm hoping that that works out okay. I haven't ever shipped my prints rolled. And that one is rolled inside a very large tube. Hopefully that will do okay. It has not sold yet. But generally, for the rest of my prints, for all of my prints, I ship them flat. So I take the print and I put the print first inside regular tissue paper. This is gift tissue paper that you would buy. Where do I get this? You either get it at Costco, big amounts. This, I believe I bought, where did I get this? Guys, I'm trying to remember where I picked things up. Let's say I bought this at BJ's Club. So when the holidays come, when Christmas time comes, I buy tissue paper in vast quantities. I think the average pack has about 400 sheets and costs about $6, so really cost effective. So I will take a couple of sheets of tissue paper and wrap the print in tissue paper. Now, let me just say, it's my understanding that about 80% of tissue paper on the market is acid-free. And when you have delicate artwork, especially artwork that is hand done, that is original, you really want to make sure you are not storing the print with tissue paper on it, because there's no real indication if it has acid or not unless you specifically buy acid-free tissue paper. But with having said that, my understanding is about 80% of tissue paper on the commercial market is acid-free. So I don't store the prints in this paper, but when I get ready to ship, I do put this as a first layer around the print. So I put the print face down on it, and I fold this back over the print, more tissue paper, and tape it. Of course, the tape does not touch the artwork itself, but this is layer number one to protect the artwork and to get it ready to put into the next layers, which I will show you. The next item that I use is this packing paper. Now, the only reason I use this packing paper is to add a little more stability to the art print. And that's just what I do. I don't know that you really need to add this step, but since I have this in my house anyway, I use this in vast quantities, and I get this at Walmart. I believe it's the Duck brand, where you're getting, I think, 150 sheets for, can't remember how many, but this is Walmart's brand. They only carry the one product. It's not their brand, but this is what they carry. And I believe I'm paying $15 a pack, costing me about 6 cents a sheet. So I do use 2 of these, again, one in the front over the tissue paper and one in the back. All right, so I ran and got the packing paper because I know you guys know what tissue paper is, you know, in any store, but this is the packing paper that I buy. So like I said, I buy this in Walmart. It cost me about $15 for 220 sheets, and that comes out to about 7 cents a sheet. No, I did not do that in my head. I got out my phone calculator. Yeah, I'm not that good. So the packing paper comes in handy for cushioning around breakables, but especially love it for wrapping artwork. Okay, so right now we have the print, we have tissue paper, and 1 sheet of packing paper in the front and 1 in the back, again taped on. The tape never touches the art print, it just touches the paper. The last thing that I will use before I slip it into poly mailer is this foam board. This is just regular foam board. I get this at Dollar Tree. They cost me $1 a board. So this is the most expensive part of the wrapping, getting it ready for shipping. Now, a lot of times the prints that I am selling, you can get, you can cut this in half and you really only need 1. So figure a cost of between $1 or $2, depending how many boards you need. So this again is the artwork. It would be wrapped tissue paper, packing paper, taped, and then this would go in between 2 pieces of this foam board. And this is how I've done it for years now, never had a problem. This foam board is stiff enough to where the print cannot get damaged. I put the print with a little bit of this margin left over so that even if this gets banged, the print inside is safe. If I'm describing all of that correctly. I guess I should have gone ahead and wrapped one for you, but that's a lot of work on camera, so I figured I would just describe how I'm shipping my prints. Once the print is inside foam board on the front and the back, the whole edge of it gets sealed with tape. I'm just using eBay tape. So that way the print cannot slip out at all and it's secure within the foam board. The last step that I do is put this whole situation, this whole foam board wrapped print into a poly mailer. Now I buy poly mailers in very large sizes. I think my largest size is 18 inches by 24. I get those again from You Pack and Ship. But if my print is so large that it does not fit in that poly mailer, I either do one of 2 things. I cut a poly mailer open and use 2 of them taped together, or I just put it inside a very good mill-thick, quality, what do I want to say, hefty bag. The black contractor bags, I will go ahead and use that. So again, just to recap, and not to beat this to death, art print, tissue paper, packing paper, foam board, poly mailer, always keeping the item flat. And on the package itself, I will write, please do not bend. And that's how I've shipped all of my prints. So far, so good. I haven't had any damage, which just let me say, the majority of the items that I ship, I use USPS, the regular postal system. And in the past 2 months, not sure if it has anything to do with the pandemic, I have had, I'm going to say 4 items break in shipping. that is an all-time high. I think in my whole 7 years of reselling, I've had maybe 2 or 3 items break. So while I did file a claim, and USPS is great once I provided, the damage, pictures of the damage, which I always ask the buyer for, and I provide the tracking and any other pertinent information, you do get a check in the mail with a refund. But I'm not quite sure whether it's the amount of mail going through or what, but hopefully the USPS gets that all figured out. So I'm sorry if you were one of my buyers that received a damaged item. I really do my best to be very conscientious in how I'm shipping my items because I want my buyers to be happy and love their items and not have items get damaged. But that's been my experience for the past couple of months, little extra breakage. So that is pretty much how I ship all of my art prints, my paintings, any kind of artwork like that. If the artwork has sold for over $100, I add extra insurance, which you can buy right on your eBay screen. You just scroll down and there is a place, I believe it's Shipsurance, that is insuring your item. So the first $100 is covered by priority mail. If you are mailing your artwork via USPS priority mail, it already has $100 built into it of insurance. So when you fill out the insurance little checkbox, they ask you the value of the item. You want to minus that $100. So say you sold an art print for $250. When they ask you the value, you want to insure it for an extra $150. And it'll come up right on the screen what that insurance is going to cost you. Also, if the item is over $100, generally, I am doing signed receipt requested. So recently, you guys might have seen that I sold the Civil War sword a second time. It did sell a first time, and the buyer was unable to complete the sale. But just a couple of days ago, today is Saturday, I believe the sword sold on Thursday, and I shipped it out yesterday. I added insurance and signed receipt requested because it sold for $340. That sword was a beautiful find, and I did share somewhere, I don't even remember where I shared it, that I shipped the sword inside a pool noodle. So it was a very long Civil War sword in a scabbard, or in a sheath, I guess we say. And I took a pool noodle and cut it lengthwise, spread it open, put the sword inside of the pool noodle, and then taped it closed. And that whole situation went into a triangular USPS priority box surrounded by packing peanuts. So fingers crossed, it was going to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is not that far from me. And hopefully the buyer was thrilled. Beautiful find, beautiful sale. And that's how I insured it and shipped it. So now I'm going to bring you on a little screenshot video of the top 15 items I have found in my reselling career. Items that I found that sometimes I knew what they were, sometimes I didn't, but they were my all-time favorite finds and favorite sales. So the video you're going to see next are items that are all sold, and I'm just going to give you a little explanation of where I found the item, if I even remember, and what I was thinking when I found the item and what the item sold for. And let's get started with the video. So in this video, I'm just going to show you my top favorite 15 items that I found and sold over the course of my 7 years of selling full-time on eBay. Now, some of these things you might have seen, probably most of them, but I wanted just to quickly go over why these have stuck in my memory and what I thought when I picked them up and how thrilled I was to make the sale. So let's get started. This first socket set was a group of tools on a bottom shelf in Goodwill, and I went to pick them up and this thing weighed a ton. This had to weigh like 20 pounds. These things were heavy. And so what I did was just look up the J.H. Williams quickly on my phone, saw that this company brings very good money, $182.22 for this socket set, and I knew nothing about tools, but was thrilled to make this sale. Next up is the IRA J Dean painting. I got $588 for it. I paid $2, and I was thrilled that the buyer not only messaged me with the sweetest letter, but she was collecting these for her family members. She was collecting IRA J Dean's artwork. So I was thrilled that this beautiful painting from a local artist who is now deceased found its proper home. Next up is a photo frame. I love finding photo frames that bring good money, $160.30. I found this again at Goodwill when I was shopping with my granddaughter and we were filming. And yeah, I knew this was something special, but I didn't know it was going to be that special. Next up is Jeremiah Dummer. This was a sterling silver cup that I found in a group of cups, and I scrapped some of them, sold them to the jewelry store, and got very good money. But the one cup, the first photo, $110.09. So between all of the cups, I believe I made about $300, and I only paid a couple of dollars. They were all in a bag together, again in a thrift store. This next item is actually the second Waterman pen that I found. I don't remember what I got for the first one, but this one, $127.41. If you find Waterman, they are faked, but you really want to examine it carefully. They will be marked on the nib and inside. As you take this pen apart, genuine Waterman pens will be very well marked. Next up, I love this sale and will always remember it because this was old soap in a box that everybody else was passing up. $97.50 for Yves Saint Laurent vintage box soap. Next up is a group of military transmitters, which of course I knew nothing about, and I picked up this first picture lot and the second picture, made a video about it. I paid $5 for the lot and got $500 with the sale. Next up is a beautiful wood carved black swan. Again, I know nothing about decoys, $395, and I found him in a thrift store, and the buyer was thrilled, so was I. This next pair of shoes is Salvatore Ferragamo, and I picked these up in a thrift store. The thing that attracted me to them right away was the color. It's not every day that you find a pair of orangish red men's driving loafers, $211.25, and I believe I paid $8. Next up is a group of photo frames that I found in a thrift store, Maitland Smith. I recognized the quality right away, even though I didn't know this name. So I believe I scored 8 of these photo frames, and the filigree brads, I'm going to call them, or studs, are sterling silver. And from the 8, I believe I made almost $1,000 selling these photo frames. So here is a picture, a close-up of what the sterling silver decor or decoration looked like, and I was thrilled to find these just gorgeous. This next print I thought was hysterical. I had popped into a Goodwill one night with a friend, just fooling around, just saying, hey, let's go to Goodwill. $192.70. Fabulous find. I will always remember finding this print because my friend was like, are you kidding me? You're going to buy that? And I was like, absolutely. Look at this print, how great this is. So let's say I got $175 for it. Here is a Filson jacket. Now this is not the first Filson I found, but this is one of the more memorable ones. I remember finding this, and I found 2 more on the same rack. So this jacket, I believe, brought $211, if I remember correctly, and I paid $9.95. Next up is a scarf. Not even going to try to say this brand name. I was out yard sailing one day and came across a home selling, I believe I picked up, how many of these? I'm gonna say 25 scarves at 25 cents a piece. This was the best or highest selling one, $146.30. Guys, I paid a quarter. How amazing is that? And this scarf was beautiful. Here is my most famous find. I think everybody knows me from this find. This is a vintage 1970s. It was a belt buckle, and everybody always remember this because I had Instagrammed about it. I don't even think, in 2018, I wasn't even YouTubing yet, and I paid $1 and it brought $400. Next up is Dale of Norway sweater, brought $129.30. And the thing I remember about this sale is I was really tired one night, but my daughter wanted to look for something. We were out shopping in Goodwill. I don't remember what she was looking for, and I said, yeah, I'll pop into Goodwill with you. And the thrilling thing about this sale is there were two of these. So $260 from, I believe these cost me $16 together. Next up is my all-time favorite find, hands down. Now, it's not that this brought the most money, but I loved this bedspread. This was a 1968 vintage Snoopy bedspread. It brought $165, and if I remember correctly, I paid $2.50. And here's one extra. I remember this sweet little handbag. I bought this at a yard sale and paid $5 for it, $99, Etienne Agnier. And it was the sweetest little basket handbag. And that ends my screenshot of the top 15, I think it was really 16 or 17 favorite finds since selling on eBay. So that is the video for today. Thanks so much for hanging out and for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button. And as always, go out and get what's yours.